Okay, and we're live on YouTube. Hello everyone. Welcome to Horizen Weekly Insider number 162. Today is Monday, November 28th. Thank you all for joining us, and please be aware that the call is being recorded so that you all will be able to check out the Horizen podcast later on, as well as on YouTube. Please be sure to ask your questions for the team. The link is currently pinned to the space. So today we're going to go ahead and kick it off with Victor for the products.
Hi Erika. This week we will release a new version in testnet of our EVM sidechain. Of course, the release is only for specified for let's say a short list of partners who have taken the burden of testing this sidechain together with us to report the early bugs that are natural in the development process. Actually, we have also uncovered a new one a few weeks ago that is now removed and will bring a good boost in performance. I don't want to disclose the number, but we don't have anymore, let's say, a drawback for the performance of in terms of transaction per second. And this is due to improvements in the process of forging new blocks and in the mempool management, where the mempool is the place in which unconfirmed transaction goes before filling a new block. This was achieved, actually acknowledged through specific testing. And let's move on with other updates. Actually, given that we are now testing with several new partners, we have also received some other minor bugs that have been fixed with this new version that will be out this week. That is now in the hands of our DevOps team. Among them, there is the new support for batch transactions. And with that, we can continue with our deployment of Block Scout Explorer. And also, we have achieved compliance with JSON RPC 2.0 specification. And we also have solved some corner cases, like, for example, not specifying some optional fields that are optional for Ethereum implementations. In our case, were not optional, so when they are empty. So we were causing, let's say, an issue for who was deploying that specific contract. And thank you for surfacing this. This was reported by a partner. We don't yet support methods belonging to the TX pool namespace. Why don't we support yet the TX pool namespace? This is a non-standard RPC method group to inspect the content of the transaction pool containing all the pending transactions, as I was saying before. And given that was stated as a non-standard, we have decided to implement it later on. Actually, we noticed now that a lot of people is using it, so it's in our pipeline and up next. That's all from me. To Angie for other product updates. Bye.
Thank you so much, Victor, and hi everyone. Happy Monday. So, some exciting news. First of all, there's a Punks airdrop scheduled to happen later this week. I know there's a marketing competition ongoing for those token mint users, so expect that to be delivered later this week. We've also released Cobalt version 2.3.1. This is our latest release available now to download. And one of the major features that this version includes is that you can claim testnet Zen now directly from Cobalt. So you can either go to our faucet, or you can also claim some testnet Zen straight from Cobalt, which is very, very exciting. Also, in another news, we got our Block Explorer front-end final report delivered, and what this means is that the audit, some of the ongoing audits that were happening for Token Mint are now being closed. which is also very important. And our team is just going on their final reviews for those. So yeah, that's what concerns token mint updates. For EVM tools support, we have the first version of our EVM MVP documentation. It's now on a test domain, and it's being internally reviewed, and it's available now and ongoing under review. So it's also really, really exciting. We're going to be adding some designs to that, and also some more documentation as we make our documentation more and more robust for the EVM project. Some of the EVM website designs are still in progress, and some of them have already been reviewed. And we also continue the development of EVM compatibility in Cobalt. I would just like to mention some of the very high-level features that this would entail. And it's really, really a very interesting and also complex work stream, but I think it's worth of mentioning. For example, users would be able to see and have their balances of Zen visible in Cobalt, of course, coming from the Horizen EVM chain. Import Ethereum accounts, create Ethereum accounts on our Horizen EVM, the ability to switch between networks. This could be Token Mint network, this could be the EVM network, as well as some other very, very exciting features that I can wait to share with you all. So please consider these are under development, but we are very excited to be showing all of these different features in the future releases of Cobalt as we support the EVM project. So I think that's it from our side, and back to you, Erika. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Angie. So now we'll do a quick marketing update. So as some of you are aware, we are going to be transitioning away from the Weekly Insider, which is super exciting because we get to announce our new monthly podcast. So we'll be using the podcast to provide short project updates, but also have an exciting topic for each monthly podcast that we do, where we'll welcome team members, partners, community members, and thought leaders in the space as guests to discuss our topic. So with the upcoming end of the Weekly Insider, our final one will be on December 12th. So we hope that you guys will all join us for that. And we'll also be sharing a Google Doc later this week for everyone to fill out to recommend topics and guests. So moving on to our next bullet point, we had a fantastic mention of our upcoming EVM compatible sidechain in Cointelegraph's latest article about basically Web3 and things that people are doing in the space. So we've shared that out on Discord, and we'll be sharing it on socials shortly as well. Then we also completed the Token Mint NFT competition. Thank you all so much for participating. It was a lot of fun. We did announce our winners on Discord. So be sure to check out to see if you made it into the top 20. However, our top 3 were CH Daniel, Celesto, and Mona. So thank you all again for participating. It was a lot of fun to see what you all created. And now we'll welcome Rob for the leadership updates and Q&A session. Welcome, Rob.
Thanks, Erica. And I have to say, I'll keep this quick today. I know a little weird doing that, but first of all, I'm really pumped for the new podcast format. I think this is great. Like in every organization, I think we have to challenge ourselves to change a lot and to not stagnate in any way. We've been doing these weekly insiders for a while now, and I'm very proud of what we've done. We've certainly conveyed a ton of information, and it provides just a kind of a long-standing archive of what's been going on in the project. Things that are important, technical updates, marketing updates, business updates, really everything that it takes to run a public blockchain ecosystem. I think it's just really cool that now we have a public record available for you guys in podcast format on YouTube, where you can go back at any particular week at any time over the last several years and see exactly what we're up to. Obviously, we supplement that with other forms of information, from quarterly updates and reviews and blog posts and news announcements and all that. And you can obviously find us on Discord all the time, right? We're always there. So there's definitely a ton of information for you guys. And before this, I remember when we first launched, we had Rolf and I doing like whiteboard sessions and weekly updates for you guys and bi-weekly, monthly. We tried different formats. And I think this last weekly insider format has been really good. And it really has served its purpose to be that kind of, in a way, like consider it like a corporate record for a non-corporate entity. It's a record for you guys, for the community, us being responsible and accountable to you guys, and just making that available always into perpetuity. It'll reside as long as the internet's up. You'll be able to pick out any pieces of what we've been up to over the last several years and have at it and check it out. Going forward, though, I think we're going to switch it up and we'll see how it goes. I think our attitude should always be one of experimenting, controlled experiments to change things up and see how things go. I'm really pumped for this new format because I think that we, in a way, what we do, if we just keep doing the same thing every single week, can become too mechanical, too automated, just kind of regurgitating things for you. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is really curate just really cool stuff and important things, and make sure that when you listen to the podcast or participate in the podcast or send suggestions for what we should be doing, it's meaningful, and we definitely cover what matters and make sure that Horizen is one of the kind of on that forefront of thought leadership for the industry, as I think we will be over the coming years. So that's it. We'll check it out, and if you guys hate it, let us know. We can definitely revert back to what we've been doing, but I suspect it's going to be pretty cool, and I think we're going to love it. So let's see how that's going to go. The last thing that I want to mention before I open this up to Q&A. So we've been undergoing a ton of really big, important changes as an ecosystem, and the different entities that are part of this ecosystem, from ZBF, the foundation, to Horizen Labs, and some of our really important partners that have been building with us, especially on the EVM side. A lot has changed, and there are some really big announcements that we have for you guys in the coming weeks. I think all really good announcements that the effect, I hope, will instill upon you guys that you have really big and well-capitalized ecosystem partners like Horizen Labs that are just fully committed to making Horizen an awesome, top-tier project. And we have some other things announcing as well on just on the ecosystem governance side, really coming through now fruition on some of the earliest goals that we had as a community, as an ecosystem when we launched, about decentralizing things and expanding out that governance footprint, really to think through the way these distributed ecosystems should be governed over time. And I know we've gone through a journey together, guys, and the announcements that we have in the coming weeks or so should be, I think, very exciting news for everyone who's been following us for all of these years. And the fact that we're finally coming through and delivering on some of these early promises makes me, for one, extremely excited. So, and anyway, that's what I'll stop here with the last cryptic message, hopefully leaving you guys tantalized and looking forward to the upcoming announcements, and we can open it here to some Q&A.
Okay, great. I'm sure I speak for all of us where we'll all be sad that we won't be getting any of those beans spilling as much anymore, but I am also pretty excited for this transition.
Our lawyers are going to love it.
All right, so the top 3 questions today. So I'm probably going to mispronounce this a little bit, but does Horizen have any plans to add WASM as a language, WASM?
You know what, as of now, no active plans, but we certainly were thinking about it. To the extent that this actually starts competing with Solidity and EVMs for smart contracting, obviously, if it starts taking more market share and people start using it more, it'll be higher up in our priorities. As of now, just know that we're cognizant of developments there, and it's definitely something that we have the optionality to put in. It's currently not our focus, though. And that's all I have to say about that. Erica, are you still there, or maybe my connection's off?
I think I got disconnected just for a quick moment, but I was able to follow along on the subtitles that are automated for us, so it's okay. Okay, great. So on to question number 2. When will the vote be held on the plan to remove privacy from the main chain and put it on a side chain?
Wow. Okay, that's a big one. I do get a sense that the community is elevating this issue, especially when you go to like our Discord channels and people are talking about it. So I think what we can do on our end is let's put together a ZenIP and let's get that ZenIP published, so we can at least see what some of the options are, and then just have a productive conversation about it as a community. So if we can, and I'll just make this commitment here, if we can publish a ZenIP related to privacy and Horizen, specifically for coin transfer, I'd like to do that in December. And then we can open up the conversation end of year with the community and just really go at it, guys. So everyone should participate in this conversation because it's a really big one. And we're gonna have to figure out how we get a real sense of community sentiment, beyond just the people that make the effort, which is important, to go and publicly debate either side of it. We need to make sure that we effectively query the community, make sure that we understand what the aggregate sentiment is. But anyway, I'm with you guys. I think that anything that relates to systemic risk for us as an ecosystem, we need to address it ASAP, and let's just dive in. Let's stop holding back on these things.
Awesome. And we'll also make sure that we post some information about ZenIPs this week on socials so that people are more aware. Okay, so third and final question for the week. Are your dev efforts on track? What are your long-term visions and goals for both Horizen and Horizen Labs?
So they are. This is a really good question. It's certainly open-ended, but I'll say a couple things. We've recently undergone some significant changes on our technical leadership, and in process, we've been reorganizing some of the teams and how we work on the back end, and I'm really happy with the results. What we do have, though, and we have to acknowledge, and some of our new engineering leaders that have put together just really current information on is that we have truly some substantial technical debt as an organization. Some of this debt, literally, I mean, a lot of it, literally adopted from Bitcoin, having a very messy code base there, going through the Zcash from the technology from which we derived our Zencash in the early days, all the way through the stuff that we've been doing in a very delicate way with Zendoo on top of this very old code base. And you can just summarize a lot of this work as we've made substantial progress, and we have an amazing team that's delivery oriented, but we certainly do need to take a step back and just go through and methodically take care of some of this technical debt. So I'll leave it at that. From just the scope of work perspective, is I do believe that we need to make some substantial investments in reducing technical debt. And how this manifests in 2023 is TBD still. So the teams are putting together a couple of different paths. Maybe we do them in parallel, where one is kind of a reformatting or modularizing the code base that we have, and the other one might be something entirely parallel. TBD, guys, but some really exciting conversations going on. In terms of how we execute, I think we're becoming an execution machine on the technical side, and this will certainly have dividends, like really big dividends that pay off in the near future, but we certainly have to get over this hump of, again, technical debt. And once we do that, though, I am fully confident that the team now is being organized properly, the way we work is being structured properly, and the things that we're working on are being chosen properly. So all of these things have to come together, and we're working on all of them simultaneously, and I like what I'm seeing. So more to come, but great question.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for those insights. That was all very exciting. So that will be the last question of the week. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we hope you all